David Watson 32.8. Jason Green 32. .1.7. Anthony Devet 38 flat. Richard Bull 32.5. David Watson 32.5. Scott Pettit 29.8. Jason Millward 33.7. RJ 30.5. Jason Green 55.5. Anthony Devet 33.7. Kurt Bell 40.1. David Watson 32.6. Jason Millward 34.6. RJ 30.2. Jason Green 33.2. Kurt Bell 29.5. Anthony Devet 35.3. David Watson 32.4. Jason Millward 34 flat. RJ 30.9. Jason Green 32.6. RJ 30.1. Jason Millward 42.7. Jason Green 31.2. RJ 30.8. Anthony Devet 131.7. Jason Millward 34.3. Jason Green 32.1. RJ 30.7. Anthony Devet 35.5. Jason Green 34.8. RJ 31.9. Jason Green 32.8. RJ 31.2.
Okay, drivers, start
Jason
bringing them
Green
in,
30.8.
and we're going to call the track closed. So track's closed.
Why is it closed? Because you're here.
Jason Milbourne's questioning why it's closed.
Why is it closed?
Well, I'll put him on the mic. Would you like the mic, Jason?
Oh, I just want to know why.
He wants to know why it's closed. Well, I'm closing it because I'm the president.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Executive decision, ladies and gentlemen. I'll hand the mic over to Lou Solar, our vice president here at Knox Radio Control Car Club. And I think he's got a few words of wisdom. So we're just going to reroute the mic.
Anthony
So stay
DeVet
tuned, ladies and gentlemen.
144.5.
Ladies and gentlemen, I thought I'd drop that in because
Jason Green 51.8.
that's Neil's favourite quote. Okay, so what we want is just a quick, maybe if we can get a few of you guys out to do a quick track walk, because our track is clay based, and inside that clay there are things like rocks, and generally when it's wet it's not an issue, but because we've done probably 10,587 laps, Scotty Guyot, these rocks have come through and I've seen some cars hit them. So if we get like 30 of us just do like a quick walk from one end of the track to other and kick the rocks off, that'd be magnificent. Up to you guys if you want us to give it a little squirt. I think it's probably not a bad idea. Just to get the dust down a little bit so we can have a bit more fun. We plan on, in about 15 minutes, we're going to print out the race order with everyone's cars, so you know what heat you're in. And the aim is going to be to do one qualifying round of the two-wheel drive cars today. As soon as that finishes, we are going to close the track. We'll pack up our stuff, and then we're going to go over to the hall, which is directly that way to the right. We've got a hall hide where we all get together and just talk for a little while. At some stage, we need to know who's going to actually be coming, because we're going to go and buy some pizzas for everybody. And we'd hate to buy 40 pizzas if people show up. So maybe if you can let me know, or Andy Cook, or even Scotty Giles, the good-looking bloke out on the back straight. So a quick track walk. We might give it a real light sprinkle, and let's say 3:45. Let's aim to get the first seat on the track, which we'll post up very shortly. Thanks.
Up next, race number 1. Dirt and Track Jurassics Demo. Heat 1 of 2. Race order is Halil Cesar, Ryan Nuthard, Aaron Defina, Lucas Hodgins, Jason Forte, Jason Millward, Marianne Zeta, Bill Cara. Bill Cara. Up next, race number 1. Dirt and Track Jurassic's demo. Heat 1 of 2. Race order is Halil Cesar, Ryan Nuthard, Aaron Defina, Lucas Hodgins, Jason Forte, Jason Millward, Marianne Zeta, Bill Cara.
Righto, drivers for the first race, get your cars up.
Put your car on there. Go straight to the driver's stand. And it's going to be open track. You're not racing. Remember, you're Jurassic.
Yeah, but we'll probably need to call them, I reckon, just on this corner.
Yeah. The problem is when I put them on the front there, the guy sitting at the end can't see the track.
Yeah, I'm in there as well.
Yeah.
That's why I was walking in this direction too.
Righto,
Currently
Halil,
up,
Ryan,
race number
Aaron,
1.
Lucas, Jason,
Dirt and
Jason,
Track Jurassic's
Forte,
demo.
Millward,
Heat 1 of 2.
Marianne, and Bill.
Race
You guys
order
are up.
is Halil Cesar, Ryan Nuthard, Aaron Defina,
So go to
Lucas Hodgins,
So Knox.live.
Jason Forte,
Just search
Jason Millward,
Knox.
Marianne Zeta,
Google, it'll be the first.
Bill Cara, Jason Millward.
Are you hanging around? I've been touching it. Yeah. Good. So then you can just take it off my hands there. I said the worst bit is
We need the drivers from Heat 6 of 6. If you open up Live RC, guys, search Knox Live RC, and you, nice hat, Jace. You will see the race sheets. If you're in Heat 6 of 6, we need you out to Marshall. Yep.
You can delete me out of that one. That was that Porsche that I'm not going to run now, mate.
So sorry, this is, I'll correct that. The marshals we need are those in race 12, which is the last race. So Marlon, David Bradshaw, Mark Watton, Mark Hodgins, Heath Murray, Peter Wagner, Jason Fort, who can't marshal because he's also racing, Rafi, and Patrick Watton. That's the two-wheel drive 540, Heat 4 of 4. You guys are out to marshal.
Hey, Sean, can you just show us how to start this timer? I couldn't see the start button. You know, you've got to set the timer there. The mouse is connected if you want.
Do you want me to move that way?
Yeah, I think.
It's not like ours, is it?
You probably got a Vita one.
Because normally there's a save button there, right? And then it does it.
So it won't do it for the first race because we're only setting it now, but it will do it for every subsequent race.
And then we just hit
So
pause.
it's going to give you.
just use that one when you do the call.
Yep. Oh, that's hooked up through the.
Well, no, they all are,
Okay.
but that just has a better quality microphone. That one was just so that when they could get out in front of people.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Then we don't use the battery over the weekend.
All right.
So do you want to?
Well, the Jurassics haven't even got transponders, so
Oh, haven't they?
line them up.
All right. So what we'll do, guys, we'll get you to line up just here in front of the tent. And when your name's called, if you have a transponder, it looks like one of you do, you'll be recorded. Otherwise, you won't. So I think this is just a demo run anyway.
Did you want this?
Yeah, I go for it. No, you're still magnificent.
What a perfect way to start the bash, guys. Looking at some of the old classic cars that are probably a bit too nice to bash around or have sentimental value to people. I'm going to hand to Scotty Guyot and let him drive the show, and we will get the live time underway. But don't forget, drivers in the next race, so check live time. Start getting your cars ready so we can keep chugging through the event.
All right. It's time for us to go racing at the Knox Vintage Bash 2.0 for 2024. I think we're good to go. We're going to press go. All right, we're going to press go. I'm going to call you away, and when I call your name, free to go. Obviously, we're not racing super hard in this one, our Jurassic demo class, but listen for your name. Okay, all right. Halil, you're good. Ryan, Aaron Defina, Lucas Hodgins, Jason Forts,
Transponder 23430997.
Jason Millwoods, Marianne Zeta, Bill Cara. If I've not called your name, you're not in this race. Jurassic Heat 2, you'll be up next, so it is knox.liverc.com. Oh, we got a visitor on the racetrack. So we're super excited about this class, our Jurassic demo class, just to get us underway after a great day of practice. And we're really interested in some of the cars that we're going to see on the track in this class today and tomorrow, and probably people will change cars as the event unfolds. We'll have a little look and see what we've got. The Team Associated RC10 with a Palmer Eagle body. I remember that from the car of Reece Birtles back in the day on the velodrome and all sorts of things. So that's Aaron Defeater driving that RC10 down the back straight.
Second.
And right behind that car of Aaron Defeater is the Mugen Bulldog. So Mugen Bulldog just coming around towards the front straight now. One of the absolute classic four-wheel drive cars from the mid-1980s. Came out around, he's upside down. Caution front straight and clear. Came out in around 1986, something like that. Heavily
After
modified cars winning
seconds,
national championships.
The top drivers are Jason Millward in first place, followed by Bill Cara in second place, followed by Halil Cesar in third place. First.
So that's that Bulldog we're talking about heading down the back straight. I think that might be Jason driving that one. We'll try and get our head around who's driving what over the course of the weekend. The car came out as a four-wheel drive, four-wheel steer car initially with mono air shocks front and rear. Those air shocks were fairly quickly replaced by the Team Associated shocks of the day, and the rear wheel steering was often locked up, as I think is the case on this car. Lots of other modifications to steering, drivetrain, diffs, all sorts of things that went on to make those cars race-worthy. But definitely they were race-worthy, winning national titles, as I said. And it might have even been 85. I'll have to get the spreadsheet out later and have a look. But around that era, 85, 86, people like Andrew Bolton driving the Mugen Bulldog. So that's the Mugen Bulldog, the first car we've had a look at here in the Jurassic class. That's what we'll be talking about, mainly the cars, not so much the drivers. We've got a couple of Tamiya classics right here in front of Race Control, with the Grasshopper to the inside of the Frog. They are just as bad as we remember them being, but they're awesome to race, awesome to drive, super fun. There's some really highly modified Frogs getting around too, which we might see later on the weekend. Oh no. All right, so we're 3 minutes down, 2 to go in Jurassic Heat 1. So Jurassic Heat 2, you guys are up next. The race sheet's available at knox.liverc.com. We will be trying to go paper-free for the weekend. The printer and the paper are not playing ball. So knox.liverc.com. Then head for the results tab and you can find the race sheets for round 1. So it is Jurassic Heat 2. You are up next, and we've only just over a minute to run in this one. Let's see what else we've got on the racetrack. A couple of RC10s. Here's one of the classic old, original, early RC10s just coming right in front of Race Control now with a ripper old 7-inch wing on the back. That is the 1987 Nationals winning car. I think that's Jason Fort's car heading down the back straight. 40th anniversary for the Team Associated RC10 just coming up very soon. I'm sure everyone here is all over the crystal clear edition that's been announced and the 1-to-1 scale full-size RC10 photos of that floating around from the SEMA show in Las Vegas at the moment. And I think there's a few more little surprises to come from Team Associated. It's the 40th anniversary of the RC10. It's also the 50th or 60th anniversary for the company as a whole. Of course, they go back to slot car days. All right, we're winding up Jurassic Heat number 1. We'll just get a little look at the timing. We've got 25 seconds to go, so another lap or so each. So Jurassic Heat 2, you will be up next. Oh, the Bulldog's broken. Oh, that's not a good sign when the Bulldog's broken. Jason just pulls that one off onto the grass. He's got 4 to back it up. All right, I think we're all right. Looks like a shock probably has come disconnected, the rear shock. Hopefully it's not anything too tragic. So yeah, we were just looking before at the Jason Ford RC10, the 6-gear original classic RC10. Put away, I think the story is this car was put away in 1987, came out at the Vintage Bash last year and has returned this year. So an absolute, still probably got 1987 dirt on it. Where was the Nationals in 87? Oh, the indoor, yes, indoor Nationals in 1987. All right, thank you drivers, you are done. We'll have you in at the end of your current lap, and we'll move on to Jurassic Heat number 2. And then we'll go classic competition racing after that. Thanks, drivers. Thanks, marshals. You're good to go. We'll have the Jurassic Heat 1 guys straight back out to Marshall, and Heat 2 on to the racetrack, please. Just would love you to work with us through the afternoon this afternoon and head straight out to Marshall so we can get all of the racing through and then get over next door for pizzas. Don't forget to let Lou Solar or Andy Cook, I think, or Neil Kovacs know if you're going to be making it for pizzas later on this afternoon. All right, Jurassic Group 2, let's have you up. So we're looking for Stefan Tulloch, Tim Bramstead, Matteo, Mark Watton, Lou Solar, Russell Trembath, Patrick Watton and Christian Foran. Knox.liverc.com for your race sheets all weekend long. And you can duck over and have a look at the world's 8-scale on-road results while you're there, and 10-scale off-road nationals kicking off tomorrow. All right, where's my Jurassic Heat 2 guys? Guys and girls in cars. There's nobody here. All right, here come our Jurassics. Here comes the first one. But to me, a Wild One Blockhead classic re-release, beautiful looking car. We've got a Frog. We've got a truck of some sort. That a Tamiya truck, I reckon. Yeah, Monster Racer. Monster Racer. Oh, a Tomahawk. All right, let's get them out. And marshals from that first Jurassic race. We can have you guys out. So I'm looking for Stefan, Tim, Matteo, Mark, Lou, Russell, Patrick and Christian out on the racetrack for us so we can get you underway. Christian's not coming? Okay. Hopefully we'll see him tomorrow, maybe? Definitely tomorrow. Lou Solar, are you running Jurassic? Did he say? No. All right, we'll give it another minute to see if anyone else comes, otherwise we'll get going. Yeah, go and grab it, chuck it on. All right, looks like we're down on numbers this afternoon, Friday afternoon. Not everyone can get here this afternoon, so we're just going to add one more car in and then we'll get this show on the road. I think he's coming. I think he was in the first race but broke that car, so we'll get him going with a different one in the second race. After this, we go into our competition cars. So Heat 3, that is competition two-wheel drive race group number 1. We'll have you guys up next. All right, jump up there on the driver's stand and let's get going. Oh, that's that insane Hornet. All right, I'm going to call you away. Obviously, I don't know who's here and who's not here. So if you hear your name, go. If you hear your name and you're not here and you're just watching online, then you should be here. All right, let's go. Stefan, Tim, Matteo. I know Matteo's here. You can go, Matteo. Mark, Lou, Russell, Patrick, Christian, and our extra guest. Away you go. Go, Bill. Go, Bill. No, forwards. Forwards is good. Beautiful. We're going to talk about that car because it's something pretty special. All right, Jurassic Heat number 2. Uh-oh, we've got trouble on the back straight already with... There's a frog climbing the wall, mounting the Hearns Racing sign. So much fun to be had this weekend. We're really excited everyone's here with us for the Vintage Bash. And here we're going with our Jurassic demo. So we'll talk about this first car across the start-finish line. The Tamiya Wild One re-released under the Blockhead Motors. Came out in, 1984, I think it was. 84, 85, around there. Closely related to the Fast Attack vehicle. Same chassis, same kind of underpinnings. Or as he tumbles down the back straight. Caution back straight. Caution back straight. And we're clear. Yes, we're clear. And certainly starting those incredible Tamiya video advertisements back in the day that we all stood around looking at in hobby shops and toy worlds. The Wild One running around on the beach. Something pretty special to watch. So I think that's Matteo driving that Wild One. What's that? Matteo. Okay, I've been corrected on my pronunciation. If I do pronounce your name wrongly, please come and let me know.
I'm now known as useless.
I'm not saying anything. So we're down to 2 cars in this Jurassic demo, including the one that I think it was that highly modified. Oh, here he comes. So I want to talk about this. I think it's Bill driving this. It is a Tamiya Hornet of sorts, but go over and visit. Have a look at this and all of the other creations on the work table over there. This one started life as a Tamiya Hornet. It's longer, wider, got all kinds of funky things happening. Handmade aluminium chassis to replace the original plastic tub chassis. It is a gorgeous piece of work, and for a Hornet, it gets around all right. He heads off into the infield off the back straight, heading past the Hearns Hobbies camera station right there. Still puts the power down like a Hornet. I don't think there's anything that's ever going to fix that. But yeah, he's got an extra shock in the back there, so it's got additional suspension, all sorts of things. Absolutely worth go over and have a chat, have a look, say good day. You can see from the front end, the front track's been widened. The chassis is, I think, 10 millimeters longer. All sorts of fun things going on there. And then we've got the Tamiya monster truck making up our field. I think I've already forgotten the name. Racing Racer, Blazing Racer, Racing, something Racing. Monster Racer, thank you very much, the Monster Racer. And Tamiya, the masters of producing many, many cars from their chassis kits. So we've got not too long to go, probably about 3 minutes left in this one. So we're heading for race 3. That is two-wheel drive competition group number 1. I'll give you some names. So we're looking for Reese Jones, Jason Millwood, David Bradshaw, Lockie Monday. I haven't seen the Mondays here yet. Matthew Jenkins, Peter Wagner, Rob, Andrew Cook, Chris Howard, Scotty Giles. That's the field. 10 cars, two-wheel drive competition, racing lines, class. Race number 3, you'll be up next. How do I see? Do I just click on racing? Yeah, mate. All right, 1 minute left in this one.
1 minute left.
All right, hopefully we'll see some more cars on track in this category
45
tomorrow.
seconds left.
Our Jurassic demos, some beautiful cars getting around. Our Frog's back on track, So a little lap 1 incident took him out.
30 seconds left. After 4 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Stefan Tulloch in first place, followed by Tim Bramstedt in second place, followed by Matteo Ciavarella in third place. 15 seconds left.
All right, so one more lap for everyone. I did want to tell a story about the Tamiya Grasshopper, and now's probably as good a time as any. We've got this highly modified Hornet out there. 1985 Australian Championships took place in Launton, Brisbane at the Launton Showgrounds. The one and only running of the 380 class at a national championship level. The class dominated, of course, by Tamiya Hornets and Grasshoppers. That national champion remains the reigning 380 national champion from 1985 to today. The longest running national champion in RC in Australia, now holding that for almost 40 years. I'll get his name, we'll make him famous tomorrow. All right, thank you, drivers, we're done. We'll bring you in. That's the end of our Jurassic class for today. We're going to go competition racing now. We're going to get on the clock, get some transponders, talk about some more cars and names and places as we work our way through qualifying round number 1 this afternoon.
Up next, race number 3. Two-wheel drive racing lines competition. Heat 1 of 6. Race order is Reese Jones, Jason Millward, David Bradshaw, Lachlan Munday, Matt Jenkins, Peter Wagner, Rob Norman, Andrew Cook, Chris Howard, Scott Giles.
I'll get a list tonight. Cool. All right, let's get these guys ready. I'm going to need a bunch of volunteers for this one because we saw we only had 3 cars in that last one. So if you're not up for a few races yet and you can jump out, just help us keep working our way through the afternoon. I know there's a bunch of guys here from Brisbane who are keen to help out.
1 minute to the start of the race.
Yeah. I think the marshalling spots are numbered. So, drivers, what we're going to do, we'll get you to all come around right near race control.
45 seconds to the start of the race.
We're going to call you away to check in your transponders one at a time so we can make sure we've got all the transponders right. So, come over here and don't cross the line until we ask you to. And then when we call you away, that's a check-in lap. Go and do your 1 warm-up lap and then come back.
30 seconds to the start of the race.
So I'm just going to call you now for your transponder check. Don't worry about the race start. We've got that suspended. So Reese Jones, if we can have Reese. Not sure if Reese is here. Jason Millward. So Jason, you can go check in and then do a lap. David Bradshaw.
Jason Millward.
Lockie Munday. I don't think Lockie's here. Matthew Jenkins.
David Bradshaw.
Matthew's not here. Peter Wagner. Is Peter here? No. Rob Norman.
Rob Norman.
Andy Cook. Chris
Andrew
Howard. Scott Giles. Yep.
Chris Howard.
Yep. Just pull them up back here at the start.
Scott Giles.
And so we're just going to get Reese Jones. Yeah, when he goes over this next car, will be Reese Jones. Who's driving that? Oh, is that Reese? Is that Reese? Oh, okay. All right, and we'll just get Reese.
Reese Jones.
All right, beautiful. So we've got 7 checked in. It looks like we've got enough marshals out there. We do. All right, drivers. So we're on the clock this time. It's, you know, the deal. We're here for a good time. We're here for a demonstration, not competition, but we're going to have the clock running. We'll give you some lap times and things. Go when your name
7,
is called.
6.
We'll
5,
call you away.
4, 3.
All right.
Reese Jones.
Reese Jones.
Jason Millward. David Bradshaw. Lachlan Munday. Matt Jenkins. Peter Wagner. Rob Norman. Andrew Cook. Chris Howard. Scott Giles.
All right, Racing Lines competition, 2-wheel drive racing underway. One of our big classes for the weekend. 6 heats, nearly 60 cars. Some huge names, some incredible race cars from yesteryear. Lots to look forward to as we go into 3 rounds of qualifying and then
First,
some finals tomorrow afternoon.
Second,
Going to crown some champions. The class, of course, named after Racing Lines magazine, one of a few iconic Australian magazines. Racing Lines born in 1991 after the Canberra Nationals, growing out of the Bormac newsletter that existed prior to that and existing right through until the mid-teens, some 25, 27 years later. The mercurial Dave Smith at the helm of Racing Lines magazine, and so we've chosen to name this class, the competition classes, after Racing Lines magazine for the weekend. Something of a throwback and a remembrance of what that magazine meant to so many of us across the racing scene. So we've got some good cars in this one, and a bunch of different RC10s. We'll have a look at this one here. Scotty Giles coming across the start-finish line now. He'll be one of the quicker drivers over the course of the weekend, running an RC10. We've got
after 1 minute 30 seconds,
2000
the
heading
top
down
drivers
the
are
back
Andrew Cook in first place, followed by Reece Jones in second place, followed by Scott Giles in third place.
Caution into the front straight, and we're clear. I think that's Jason Millward's RC10 89 World's replica car just running into some trouble, maybe dropping a dog bone or something.
5th, 7th, 2nd.
So I think we've got, in terms of the clock, last time I had a look, it was Andy Cook out in front. I'm going to spot Andy. I think it's him coming down the front straight. So it's a good time to talk about the GP3D 89 and 91 World's RC10 winning replica cars. This is the 91 edition from that incredible race in Detroit. Those cars manufactured right here in Melbourne, the replica cars, and GP3D, a sponsor, supporter of the event this weekend. Also to have Andy and the company and the team on board, working with other Australian businesses like Berserk, also a supporter of the event, to put that car together, being sold and raced now all over the world. Andy sporting the 91 edition, the Masami replica paint job. The car's just working beautifully. He is the quickest out on the racetrack at the moment. Where are we now? Scotty Giles, we've already talked about that RC10 coming through. I'm pretty sure it's an RC10. Scotty's run.
Second.
Might be the 89 version.
2 minutes left.
We've got Rob Norman, a couple of Shoemakers out there, a Cougar and a Cougar 2000 coming right in front of race control. Another, that might be the Traxxas, I think.
6th. 3rd.
And then a Losi as well. There's caution going on to the back straight. And we're clear. So fast lap of the race, 29.7. Andy Cook dipping into the 29s last time around. Oh, I just lost my screen. We're just continuing to make some changes. No, it's good. So we're just under a minute and a half to run. We're looking for two-wheel drive competition at race number 2. That is race 4 overall. So Hursty, Rory Cole. I don't think Rory's here yet. Jeff Primer, Stuart Campbell.
3rd.
Brian Stewart, Ash Geffart, Chris Schoenfish.
6th.
Theo, Chris, and Anthony. Oh, we've popped the ball joint on that Shoemaker right there in front of race control.
1 minute left. After 4 minutes, the top drivers are Andrew Cook in first place, followed by Scott Giles in second place, followed by Reece Jones in third place.
Over there, yeah. So 29.74 for Cookie, 29.78 Scotty Giles, Reece Jones in the 31s.
3rd.
Chris Howard, 32. Bradshaw, 34. Rob Norman, 32. Jason Millward, 32 as well, but Jason, we know, is out. We're inside the last 30 seconds.
30 seconds left
to go. Two-wheel drive competition, first round of qualifying, first of 3. Brought to you by Racing Lines magazine.
15 seconds left. 1st, 3rd, 4th.
We'll pick up some of these other cars throughout qualifying and talk about them. I definitely want to talk about the Cougar 2000. He's heading down the back straight. Keep going till you are called done.
4th.
So keep going till we call you done. We are on staggered start qualifying. We'll let you know when your race time is run. Andy Cook looks like running out the winner in this one.
First, Andrew Cook done.
Thanks, Andy.
Second, Reece Jones done.
Thanks, Reece. You're good. I've lost.
The race is completed.
Scotty Giles coming off the track somewhere. they have finished earlier. All right, thank you, drivers. I think we've got you all. Yeah, no. We're just getting a couple little system settings worked out here. So we're going to go into group number 2. That is race
Up
4,
next,
group 2
race
of
number
two-wheel
4.
drive competition.
Two-wheel drive racing lines competition. Heat 2 of 6. Race order is David Hurst, Rory Cole, Jeff Primer, Stuart Campbell, Brian Stewart, Ash Gephardt, Chris Schoenfisch, Theo Theodoro, Chris Marshall, Anthony DeVette. Anthony DeVette. David
All
Hurst.
right, so drivers, if you can come out and grid your cars up just right here in front of race control. We're going to call you away one at a time, as we did last time, to check the transponders. So don't go do warm-up laps at the moment. Just park them up here. We just need the cars to run across the line once at a time so that we can make sure we've got all the transponders sorted out. This will get a little bit easier as we go through different rounds of qualifying, assuming you stay with the same transponder number. All right, so I'm going to ask you to come across. We're just looking for marshals to head out. Oh, it looks like we're out looking for lost parts at the moment. That might be Scott Giles looking for something. All right, so let's have David Hurst, if you can cross the line, David.
Yep, he's good.
Yep, you're good. Rory, I don't think's here. Jeff Primer.
Jeff Primer.
Stuart Campbell. Not sure if Stuart's here. Brian Stewart. Don't think Brian's here. Ash. Are we saying Ash? Chris Schoenfisch.
Chris Schoenfisch.
Theo. I'm not sure if I've seen Theo. Chris Marshall. And Anthony.
Chris Marshall.
So they can come back.
All right, come on back. Do your warm-up lap. Come on back around to the front here and we'll get the race underway. So head back around to where you were.
Instead of doing the countdown, you can just click start,
okay.
and then it'll stagger them through.
Yep, and it'll call them, won't it? So okay. All right, let's bring him around in front of race control here and we'll call you away. All right, so I'm pretty sure we're going to call you away in the same order. Have we broken cars already on the warm-up lap? Why is Jeff Primer off the driver's stand? It's the delight of vintage racing, right? Some of these cars are pretty fragile. How's it looking, Jeff? Are we going to get you back out? Yep. All right, we'll just wait a sec for Jeff. This is looking like Formula Losi. Oh no, there's a lone RC10 there in the hands of David Hurst. All right, Jeff's good. All right, thanks, drivers. Listen for your name. It'll be in the same order, so it'll be David, Jeff, Chris, Anthony. All right, let's go racing.
David Hurst. Rory Cole. Jeff Primer. Stuart Campbell. Brian Stewart. Ash Gephardt. Chris Schoenfisch. Theo Theodoro. Chris Marshall. Anthony DeVette.
All right, we're away. Two-wheel drive competition, group number 2, heat 4 of 12 this afternoon. Brought to you by the famed Racing Lines magazine. And in Formula Losi, of course, it is an associated. First across the line, David Hurst.
First.
I think an RC10 team car, I think David was telling me. I might have got that wrong. I've seen so many cars and met so many people today.
First.
We'll get it worked out, but David heads off down the back straight.
First.
So many varieties of RC10
First.
here this weekend, from the OG 6-gear gold tub chassis right through to, I saw a B3 getting around earlier. Not sure I've seen a B2, but there might be one or two here. And certainly every variety of RC10 from that period. Got a couple of Losi double X's and a JRX2. So let's talk about this JRX2, the white, silver checkered
First.
flag
Third.
5-link JRX2,
Second.
the car released 1988, I think they came out. Ran them at the Worlds in 89 in Sydney in the long wheelbase H-arm configuration. This the original short wheelbase 5-link version in the hands of national champion 1991, I think it was, two-wheel drive stock national champion Chris Marshall. Has not forgotten how to drive a race car, and a wizard with tuning brushed stock
Fourth.
motors back in the day. So we're going to follow
First.
Chris for a lap. We're going to
Third.
try and not embarrassing him into a mistake, but just have a look at that car. The 5-link rear suspension, incredible traction. The cars were known for, I think the phrase I might have picked up from Lou Solar from a long, long time ago was that rear suspension bites like a hungry crocodile. I've got it tucked away somewhere, and I reckon that was a Lou Solar saying from back in the day. So there's Chris down the front straight over the tabletop. White, silver checkered flag. Just getting through under a tumbling. That might have been Chris
Fourth.
Schoenfish, I reckon.
Second.
So Chris Marshall, the
Third.
JRX2. There's a few of those
First.
running this weekend. The 5-link JRX2s. I've
After
seen one
2
in the
minutes
hands of
30
Darren
seconds,
Johnson.
the top drivers are Anthony Devitt in first place, followed by Chris Marshall in second place, followed by Chris Schoenfish in third place.
So yeah, we'll see a few of those JRX2s over the weekend. They went from the JRX2 to the long wheelbase version with a H-arm, the Proformance conversion kit, which then led to the Pro SE and then to the Double X, and we'll see some of those in action. Fast on track in this one at the moment. It is Anthony.
Second. Third. 2 minutes left.
He's been the
Fourth.
quickest so far. Marshall in 2. Schoenfish, Hurst is
Second.
the order. And we did
Fifth.
not get to see Jeff Primer run in this one. He had some trouble on his warm-up lap, and then... Oh, no, he's back out there now. He's back now. So the rest of the cars out there, I think, are all of the Double X variety of Losis. Some of the prototype parts on those cars first appearing at, I think, the 91 Worlds in Detroit, but the actual production cars coming a year or two after that.
First.
The Pro SE being run around that period.
Third.
Morphing into the Double X in that early 90s, 92-ish.
Fourth. Second.
And then a race car that was incredibly fast right through the mid-90s and so hard to beat. Right around the country. So we've got Chris Schoenfish running the Double X, Anthony Devitt running the Double X, and Jeff Primer also running the Double X.
1 minute left.
So 1 minute to run on this one. It is two-wheel drive
Third.
Group 3. That is race
Second.
5 overall. You're
Fourth.
up next.
45 seconds left.
Inside our last minute. So Marshall it is leading this one. Anthony in 2. Schoenfish, Hurst, Primer.
.30 seconds left.
I do love me a JRX2.
First.
Look at that thing. The rear grips up. They do
Second.
understeer. We saw him just pushing there wide onto the back straight. But so much fun to
Third.
drive.
15 seconds left.
And the car that really sparked the origins of the Losi V associated battle that would rage ever since then. And that JRX2 was released to go up head-to-head against the RC10. We're coming down inside our last few seconds now. So again, drivers, we'll let you know when you're done. Keep going till we call you finished.
First.
So keep going till we call you finished.
Second.
Everyone's still live at the moment.
Third. Chris Schoenfish done.
Thank you, Chris. You're done.
Fourth. David Hurst done.
Thank you, David. You're done. So just waiting on Chris, Marshall, and Mr. Devitt, Anthony Devitt. Oh, Marshall goes upside down on the front straight. Caution, front straight. All clear. We'll get our last two drivers across the line, and then we'll get going with our next group of two-wheel drive competition races.
Second.
Thank you,
Anthony
guys.
Devitt done. Second. Chris Marshall done.
Oh, Anthony getting the win on that last lap, courtesy of the Chris Marshall roll.
What you can do here is just go to finish race.
Oh, yeah.
That's all of them.
Yep.
The race is completed.
Can't check them until that time is called up. Yep.
All right, let's go racing with race number
Up next,
5.
race number 5. Two-wheel drive racing lines competition. Heat 3 of 6. Race order is Nathan Healy, John Perkins, Sebikun Ellis, Wayne Friend, Lee Cheeseman, Paul Shannon, James Knight, Paul Sims, Wayne Edwards, Simon Healy, Peter Z, James Knight.
All right, so as we've done with everyone else, you're getting the hang of this now. Just grid them up here in front of race control and we'll call you one at a time.
So what I would do here is just pause it. Yep. And then this is where you can get them to cross. And once they're all crossed and we've done the transponders, we can start.
All right, I don't think I've seen the Healys here this afternoon, but we'll just check and make sure. We're expecting a lot more cars on the racetrack tomorrow. Not everyone being able to get away from work for Friday afternoon qualifying. All right, we'll wait for Paul. Don't stress, mate. Don't stress. Don't, just relax. We don't want you to trip over and die. What is that? Is that an Ultima of some sort? A Triumph? That's an outrage. It is an outrage. It's an outrage. News Limited's favourite word. Oops, did I say that out loud? Four. All right, so listen for your name and then roll away as I call you. This is not the start of the race. This is just for us to check you in. Nathan Healy. I don't think Nathan's here. John Perkins. Seb.
John Perkins.
Sebi. Wayne Friend. Lee Cheeseman. Lee's not here. Paul Shannon. James Knight. Yep. Paul Sims.
Paul Shannon. Paul Sims.
Wayne Edwards. Simon Healy. Peter Z. Those guys are not here, I don't think. All right, let's bring them back around and grid them up and we'll get you away. So just pull up there. Thanks, JP. That looks suspiciously like a Mardave in the hands of John Perkins. Is it? Is that what it is? No. What is it? I don't know. I reckon it's a Mardave. Is it a Mardave? Yeah, it is a Mardave. Beautiful. All right, so guys, we're going to press go. You go when we call your name. You know the drill. Have we got enough marshals out? Yes, we do. All right, let's go racing.
Nathan Healy. John Perkins. Sebikun Ellis. Wayne Friend. Lee Cheeseman. Paul Shannon. James Knight. Paul Sims. Wayne Edwards. Simon Healy. Peter Z.
All right, we've got some variety of cars in this one. We're getting away from the Losi and associated dominance that we've had in the first couple of races, and we're going to start it right here with John Perkins as he comes back across the start-finish line for his first lap. The Mardave Cobra, I think they were, weren't they? Coming out of the UK. Mardave were a company known really for building those mini stocks races, that contact short oval track racing. Mardave and Shoemaker were a couple of the brands that went hard at it all through that period. I think they still do. And so that's the first time that Mardave then came to the 10th scale off-road scene with the Cobra. Coming out in, I think it was around about 95. I'm looking for Scotty Pettit. He'll correct me. And we'll see one in his hands a little bit later on. Famously, a car that went 94, it might have been. 94 Nationals, wasn't it, Scotty P? He'll tell me later on. Putting that car in the two-wheel drive modified A final at an Australian Championship event. And this one driven by Brisbane's John Perkins, coming down the front straight, the red, white and blue. That's the Mardave that we're looking for. He kindly rolls it over for us so we can see that blue alloy chassis underneath, or I think John's actually might be yellow with blue clear contact attached. The mighty Mardave Cobra heads off down the back straight. John's been racing since the mid-1980s himself. One of the original two-wheel drive modified guys in Queensland in around 87, 88. Very fast driver and continues to be quick at his local club at Chargers, and one of the fastest guys in the vintage scene in Queensland. Has an incredible collection, and we'll see some of John's collection on the racetrack over the weekend. So that's John heading on to the
Second.
back straight now, red, white and blue. Predominantly white, red and blue. He sits third at the minute. So we've got Paul Shannon, Paul Sims, John
Fourth.
Perkins, James Knight is the order.
After 2 minutes 30 seconds, the top drivers are Paul Shannon in first place, followed by Paul Sims in second place, followed by John Perkins in third place. Second. Third. First.
So I want to have a look at Paul Shannon's car heading down the back straight. Yellow wheels, that kind of bronze-coloured body. I think that's the team associated. I think it's a B3. Paul, come correct me afterwards if I got that wrong.
Fourth.
Team
2 minutes
associated,
left.
working their way through a series of cars after the RC10 to the B2, the first of the plastic tub chassis car, then the B3, before the real step change that came with the release of the B4 platform. A platform
First.
that would see them through more than 10
Third.
years of high-level racing. But this is the last of the
Second.
kind of, what would be considered to be the original generation with the plastic tub chassis that came along with the B2. Definitely a car that's working nicely as he works his way
Fourth.
down the front straight and over the Knox tabletop. Oof. Lose here.
First. Third. Second.
Yeah, this is 5's on now. All right, so race 6 up next.
1
Anthony
minute
Miller,
left.
Craig Langman, Sean Turner, Lou Sola, Ray Monday, Scott McDonald,
Fourth.
Darren Johnson, Andrew Abbott, Scott Pettit, Brent Jeffress, Baden McDonald. You guys are up next. We got a minute to go in this one. A little under a minute to run.
First.
So
45
we talked about the
seconds
Cobra.
left.
We'll catch up with
Third.
another one of those shortly. We've got the Kyosho
Second.
Outrage, the yellow body just heading on to the back straight. Not a car I know a whole lot about, actually, so someone's going to have to come and tell me about the Kyosho Outrage.
30 seconds
Might have
left.
evolved out of the Ultima series, I probably think, having a look at it. Looks like it's got some of that heritage.
Fourth.
What else have we got? An RC10 heading to the back straight.
First.
We've got Paul Shannon leading in
15
the
seconds
B3. We
left.
talked about that B3. Paul Sims in 2, Perkins, Knight.
Third.
They're the 4 cars on track
Second.
for this one. Inside our last 10 seconds on the master clock. So listen for your name. We'll tell you when you're done. You know the drill. Some of you have been racing for as long as these cars have existed.
Fourth. First Paul Shannon done.
Thank you, Paul. Nicely done.
Second Paul Sims done.
Thank you, Paul.
Third
The
John
outrage.
Perkins done.
John Perkins in the Mardave. So we've just got one car still live. Down the front straight. That's going to be the RC10. I think that's James.
Fourth James Knight
Thank
done.
you, James. We're all done.
All
Thank you,
drivers
guys.
are finished. The race is completed.
All right, we're going to go to race number 6. And boy, oh boy, are there some heavy hitters in this one. Maybe they're not the fastest guys in the country now, but almost everyone in this race was the fastest driver in the country at one point. We'll talk about some of those guys over the course
Up next,
of the weekend.
race number 6. Two-wheel drive racing
Yes,
lines
Sean
competition.
Turner, you're up there with some of the best
Heat
in the
4
country.
of 6. Race order is Anthony Miller, Craig Langman, Sean Turner, Louis Sola, Ray Monday,
Yeah.
Scott McDonald,
So
Darren
just
Johnson,
wait up. We'll call
Andrew
you.
Abbott, Scott Pettit, Brent Jeffries, Baden McDonald, Louis Sola.
All right, we're going to call you away. This is just a check-in, so once you've checked in, you can do a lap and then come back. Anthony Miller, Craig Langman. Is Craig here? Sean
Anthony
Turner,
Miller,
Lou Sola,
Sean Turner,
Ray Monday. Ray's not here. Scott McDonald. Don't think Scott's here. Darren Johnson, Andrew Abbott,
Darren Johnson, Andrew Abbott,
Scott Pettit, Brent Jeffress,
Scott Pettit, Brent Jeffries,
and Baden McDonald.
Baden McDonald.
All right, thanks, guys. So do that warm-up lap and come on back and we'll get you away. Have I got marshals? I do. Thanks heaps for everyone who's marshalling, who's jumping in to fill a spot. So you know the deal. Once we press go, it'll call you away in that same order. Give a little room to the car in front of you. Jeez, Andrew Abbott's hacking people already. Outrageous.
Just bring that car back a bit.
All right, two-wheel drive competition at Racing Lines. This is our third. What are we up to? 3, 4, 5. Fourth group. Fourth of 6. We are ready to go racing, so let's do it. Listen for your name.
Anthony Miller, Craig Langman, Sean Turner, Louis Sola, Raymond Day, Scott McDonald, Darren Johnson, Andrew Abbott, Scott Pettit, Brent Jeffries, Baden McDonald.
All right, that's Group 6 away. Two-wheel drive competition, Racing Lines, 21.5 turn brushless motors in probably most of these. There might be a couple of brushed old school stock motors as well. And we've got not only some of the finest competition cars ever built in the two-wheel drive category, but some of Australia's best ever drivers as well.
Second. Third.
We'll just let everyone sort themselves out a little bit.
Second. Fifth.
So I did just want to follow on to that conversation about the Mardave Cobra that we had in the last race to point out another example of that in this heat, driven by Scott Pettit, just heading towards the front straight now, the third of those 3 cars coming down the front straight in front of the driver's stand. Scotty P bringing this car to a two-wheel drive modified national championship A final appearance. Outstanding a performance it was. I think it was Keilor. Scotty, remind me later if I've got that wrong. 1994.
Third. Second.
Putting it in the A final in a rocket round performance, an outstanding driving performance. Scotty made a few A final appearances in that period in the modified class as well as other classes across the line. So that's the second of the Cobras that we're going to see in action, at least 2 that we're going to see in action. And I just wanted to point that one out as he works his way up the hill. That's the white wheels, yellow front, blue, white body shell. You can see the alloy, blue alloy chassis plate.
Seventh. Third.
Mardave Cobra.
Second.
As he heads down the back straight. We look and see what's happening on the clock. It's Lou Sola, fastest out front. Where's Lou? Let's find him. I've lost him for a moment. He's probably just coming. No, I've lost him. We'll find him in a minute. Oh, here he is, heading down the back straight to the inside. So Lou running what looks to be maybe a Pro SE, I reckon, in this one, or is it a double X? Mr. Losi, Mr. Vintage Bash 2.0.
Seventh.
One of the original crew that put the Vintage Bash together last year and back again this year. We won't talk about Lou too much because he's going to get plenty of FaceTime as it is.
After 2 minutes 30
but
seconds,
we'll just have a little look at the
top
car.
drivers are Louis Sola in first place, followed by Brent Jeffries in second place, followed by Andrew Abbott in third place.
Caution front straight, caution front straights.
First.
And we're clear. And the other Pro SE in this one in the hands of Brent Jeffries. So those guys running 1 and 2 at the moment. That's Brent climbing the hill in the blue and yellow example right in front of race control now.
Sixth. Third.
We're 3 down.
2 minutes left.
2 minutes to run.
Fifth.
So Brent has quite a bit of history in the sport as well, doing a lot of racing at a high level, particularly in two-wheel drive stock. I think Brent was mainly known for, but also a little bit of modified action. Oh, Scotty P.
Second.
So definitely some talent on the driver's stand and some incredible cars on the racetrack in this one.
Seventh.
Got a triple X here in front of race control. What was the other car I was going to look at in this one? Oh, yes, Andrew Abbott's team associated RC10. Where's Andrew? Right here on the Knox tabletop, climbing the hill in the centre of the track now. Andrew, of course, a couple times national champion in on-road categories. Also making appearances in two-wheel mod A finals here at Knox, I think it was in 2000. And a couple of other times as well.
1 minute left. Third.
That one of the very, very first race cars that Andrew ever purchased way back in the day. He'd never raced it before. Never raced it before today. Did mess around with it a little bit. spent a whole lifetime driving
45
4-team
seconds
Associated, and it would be unthinkable that he would run anything other than an Associated today. So that's one of the original
Second.
Gold Tub 6-gear RC10s. A few modifications to it and some handmade parts.
6th,
Go and say good day to Andrew and he'll talk you
30
through
seconds
the
left,
car.
5th,
We're inside our last 30 seconds for race 6, so we're looking for
Third.
race number 7, two-wheel drive competition. Second last
Fourth.
group of you guys
7th, 1st,
as we work our way through
15
round 1 of
seconds left.
qualifying here at Vintage Bash 2.0. Day 1 of 3 days of super fun on-track and off-track action.
2nd, 6th, 4th,
Keep going till we call you done. I think Darren Johnson running around down the back straight
Third.
there, also running what would have been a JRX2. That might have the
Fifth.
Performance conversion on it. I can't quite
First,
see
Louis
from here
Sola
whether
done.
it's got the 5-link rear end.
7th, Sean Turner done.
Oh, Abbott upside down in turn 1.
Sixth, 2nd, Andrew Abbott done. 4th, Darren Johnson done.
Thanks, Darren. Thanks, Andrew.
3rd, Brant Jefferies done.
Thanks, Brent. Otherwise, keep going till we call you done.
6th, Baden McDonald
Thanks,
done.
Baden. You're done. We've got a couple of cars still live. So waiting on Lou. No. Just Scott. Ah, there we go.
5th, Scott Pettit done.
Thank you, Scott.
All drivers are finished.
Thank you, drivers. Let's have those
The race
cars
is
off
completed.
and out to Marshall, and we will get underway with race number 7. How was it, mate, on the clock? Thank you, guys. Another fantastic looking group of cars coming out
Up
in
next,
our next group.
race number 7. Two-wheel drive racing lines competition. Heat 5 of 6. Race order is Michael Bruce, Lucas Hodgins, Jenny Parkhill, Jason Forte, Jordan Isergen, Dom Blackman, Simon McHugh, Kurt Bell, Ashley Coble, Glenn Grinter.
Yeah, he's about to race it, I think. All right, so drivers, just to reiterate, if you've not caught what we're doing, we're just calling you away one at a time here to check your transponders in, so don't cross the line till we call you. I'll let you know when we're ready to do that. Hopefully we won't need to do that in subsequent rounds of qualifying. All right, so let's have Michael Bruce.
Michael Bruce.
Lucas Hodgins.
Lucas Hodgins.
Jenny Parkhill. Jenny, yep. Away you go. Thanks, Jenny. Just trying to sneak through from the back there. Jason Fort.
Jenny Parkhill.
Jordan Issigen, I don't think
Jason
I've seen
Forte.
Jordan. Don Blackman. Simon McHugh.
Dom Blackman.
Kurt Bell.
Simon McHugh.
Ashley Cobble.
Kurt
and
Bell.
Glenn Grinter.
Ashley Coble.
All right, so go
Glenn
do a lap
Grinter.
and then come on back and we'll start the race here. What's the matter?
Called it. No, it's performance. You
Yeah.
called it.
Performance, wasn't it?
Performance, yeah. Should have brought the box down and stuff.
It still gives me a chuckle all these years later,
Especially for an American company.
especially as a copywriter. All right, let's pull them up. How we are looking for marshals. We got everybody out there that we need. Somebody's pointing at something. What's happening? What's happening, Sean? Sean spotted something here. What's happened? Oh, the screws come out. Phillips head screwdriver. Can we have a Phillips head screwdriver race control? Here we go. We'll try and get him back on the racetrack. Good spotting.
It's actually a JIS too, so.
Just relax. It's all right. While we're just pausing here, reminder, please let us know about pizzas. If you're going to be coming for pizza, we need some numbers. So Andy Cook, who's right here with the camera at the start grid. Lou Soley, you all know Lou.
Normally, if it misses a lap, you can see a really long lap. It's actually yours or
Because I started behind both Andrew Abbott and
Yeah, but
Yeah, I know, but it's timed from when you go over the loop. We're not racing each other. But we're.
We'll have a look after.
Is that if it's missed the lap here, you would have a really long lap. And if I look at the results, you got 10 laps as did Lou.
Yeah.
So you got the same number.
But you know
of
what I'm
laps.
saying, right? Like their clock was in front of me because they crossed the line before me, and then I've
Got past.
That's all right.
You might have got
We'll have a
past
look.
us, but the difference between.
We'll have a look.
Normally what would happen
Andrew started 2 spots in.
All right, are we good to go?
Only a couple of seconds.
Are we good to go?
No, it shouldn't be a lap. Anyway,
All right, let's watch the cars. Let's get going.
Michael Bruce, Lucas Hodgins, Jenny Parkhill, Jason Forte, Jordan Isergen, Dom Blackman, Simon McHugh, Kurt Bell, Ashley Coble, Glenn Grinter.
Oh, I just saw the zigzag sticker on the side of Glenn Grinter's RC10 as he crossed the start-finish line. Zigzag, one of the famous names in the industry from back in the day. I think it's time we had a bit of a
First.
focus on the mighty Schumacher brand. We haven't talked too
Second.
much about them yet, so let's talk about them a little bit in this one because there's a few.
Second.
And we're going to
Second.
start with the car on the back
Fifth.
straight. Pink wing,
Second.
pink wheels, pink and blue body shell. The Schumacher Top
Fifth.
Cat. That Top Cat came out just before the Worlds in 1989. The
Eighth.
lay-down inboard front shocks. Really quite an unusual design. Proved to be a little bit of a troublesome car to get steering out of and to get that front suspension to work. I think from memory the front shocks were not connected on the downstroke, something like that, so the damping was a bit strange in droop condition.
First.
But certainly Jamie Booth made it work and put it in the World's
Seventh.
final in 1989 in
Fourth.
Sydney, slippery St Ives
Fourth.
track in Sydney. And it is definitely a classic car in the annals of two-wheel drive competition RC. That's the Top Cat. He's just coming down the front straight now, the second of those two cars. Oop, goes for a roll.
Seventh.
Caution front straight, caution front straight. I think we're good. So yeah, that's
First.
the Top Cat. And the Top Cat
Eighth.
then morphed into the
Fifth.
Cougar right at around the end of 1989 into
Third.
1990. And there's a Cougar running. I
Sixth.
think we're at the end of the back
Fourth.
straight. We've got a Cougar.
Fourth.
And he just gets through cleanly on the inside there. So coming right across in front of Race Control now, that's the Cougar.
Eighth.
Well, it's probably the Cougar
Seventh.
Classic, the re-released version, but
Third.
that followed from the Top Cat.
First.
Very, very similar. Similar
Fourth.
chassis, drivetrain, and so on. Different front suspension,
Sixth.
obviously, with the upright
After
rear
2
upright
minutes
shocks.
30 seconds, the top drivers are Ashley Coble in first place, followed by Glenn Grinter in second place, followed by Dom Blackman in third place.
And
Third.
the Cougar morphing then into
Sixth.
the Cougar 2. Cougar winning the Australian Championships in the hands of Darren Campbell, famously 1991 in Canberra, two-wheel drive modified, fairly heavily modified version of
Second.
the Cougar.
Seventh.
Carbon
First.
flat plate chassis.
Third. 2 minutes left.
Oh,
Fifth.
Darren Johnson still has that car.
Fourth.
Ah, yes. We've got another Cougar coming out in this next one, or a Cougar 2 with the moulded carbon chassis.
Sixth. Eighth.
And the Cougar 2 then obviously morphed over its life too. Cougar 2, a few different versions of it, culminating in the Cougar 2 Works, the purple anodized alloy chassis and transmission side plates. Before Schumacher
Second.
then went to the double deck carbon
Third.
of the Cougar 2000,
First.
which we'll talk about later on
Seventh.
as well. So we are 3.5 down, 1.5 to run in this our second
Fourth.
last group of two-wheel drive competition cars.
Sixth. Second. Eighth. 1 minute
Third.
left. Second.
Yeah.
Seventh.
If we could have Sean turn it to race control for just for the start of this next race to help us. Yeah, when you're
Fifth.
done, just to help us with the
45
transpondering.
seconds left.
Inside our last minute two-wheel drive competition, Racing Lines category,
Six.
second last of our 6 groups. We've got one more to run. First round of qualifying. There's 3 qualifiers, best to count. And then we go
First.
heads up finals racing tomorrow after lunch.
30 seconds left. Third. Second.
Got a 91 World's RC10 replica heading
Seventh.
off down the back straight. I think that's Ash. That car's been looking really nice all
Fourth.
through practice today. Ashley
Eighth.
probably knows the track here reasonably
15
well.
seconds
And
left.
definitely has that car working nicely.
Fifth.
Those GP3D cars from Andy Cook, they just do work so beautifully, both the
Sixth.
89 and the 91 versions. We've got, again, a few
First.
different versions of RC10s in this one. Keep
Third.
going till we call you done, driver, so keep going till we call you
Second.
done.
Seventh. Michael Bruce Dunn.
Thanks, Michael.
Fourth.
Keep going, everyone else. So Michael's done, everyone else still live.
Fifth. Lucas Hodgins Dunn.
Thanks, Lucas. Oh, nice inside move.
First. Simon McHugh Dunn.
Thanks, Simon.
Sixth. Jason Forte Dunn.
Thank you, Jason.
Eighth. Jenny Parkhill Dunn.
Thanks, Jenny.
Third. Dom Blackman Dunn.
Thank you, Dom.
Second. Ashley Coble Dunn.
Thank you, Ash. And that leaves us with Glenn Grinter.
Fourth. Glenn Grinter
Thank you,
Dunn.
Glenn. Thank you, drivers.
All drivers are finished.
You know the deal,
race is
straight to Marshall.
completed.
We'll get our next race away, and then we'll be moving into our 540 category after that. Yeah, there he is.
Up next, race number 8. Two-wheel drive
What we're
racing
gonna-
lines competition.
Let's get a
Heat
sheet.
6 of 6. Race order is David Lawrence, David Watson, Nathan Marsh, Jack Engel, Stuart Boros, Richard Bull, Connor DeVette, Jensen Spencer, Chris Gorjowski, The Wookie,
Yep.
Jeremy Williams,
Okay. All right, so just to clarify the pizza situation, Scotty Giles now has a list. He's going to hang around near the cafe. So come and see Scotty. Let him know if you're coming and how many people you're bringing. He's going to hang around near race control here, cafe kind of area. The tall, distinguished-looking gentleman, all in black with the gorgeous dark brown hat. So come see Scotty. He's got a list. That is the official list that we're working with. All right. I've lost Mr. Turner. That's all right. I reckon I can work this out. So, drivers, you know the deal. I just want you to go across slowly as I call you so we can check you in. Dave Lawrence.
David Lawrence,
David Watson. David Watson.
David Watson,
Nathan Marsh.
Nathan Marsh,
Jack Engel.
Jack Engel,
Stuart Burrows.
Stuart Boros,
Richard Bull.
Richard Bull,
Connor Deveth. Connor. Is
Connor DeVette,
Yep. It's Jensen Spencer, Jeno.
Jensen Spencer,
Chris Georgowski. Peter Worcester. Jeremy Williams.
Jeremy Williams,
All right, so once we've got everyone back, we're good to go. Let's have marshals out. Scotty Giles to do pizza name. So go see Scotty Giles for pizza. He's hanging out in the cafe here. He wants your name, or numbers, really. All right, we're good for marshals. Stand back, guys. We've got one more car to come. All right, so you know the deal. We'll call your name, you go, and then we'll tell you when you're done. Race 8, two-wheel drive competition. I've lost the mouse. Let's go racing.
David Lawrence, David Watson, Nathan Marsh, Jack Engel, Stuart Boros, Richard Bull, Connor DeVette, Jensen Spencer, Chris Gorjowski, The Wookie, Jeremy Williams,
All right, last of our two-wheel drive competition heats. here at day one of the Vintage Bash, brought to you with the support of Hearns Hobbies. I love having the guys on
First.
board, helping to organise and promote the event. They're
Second.
here. You can come down and see
Second.
them. You could take a vintage car
Second.
away with you if you flash the plastic or
Fifth.
talk nicely or drop some cash on the table. The guys were
Sixth.
broadcasting live this afternoon,
Seventh.
so you can go back and watch
Eighth.
that later on this
First.
evening. We'll talk about some of the other sponsors and supporters of the event throughout the course of the day tomorrow. But a huge thanks to Hearns for being with us. Last time I was in the shop was many, many years
Second.
ago. I think they're still in that same place downstairs under the station in the city.
Fourth.
All right, we're very quickly 1 minute down, 4 to run.
Fifth. Fourth.
Thank you.
Eighth.
So let's talk about this car right in front of Race Control right
Fifth.
now. The white front, orange, blue,
Eighth.
heading down the back straight right now. That is
Eighth.
Jensen Spencer,
Sixth.
Victoria's finest export, now resident in Queensland, driving the Joel Johnson replica Kyosho Ultima. So just released by Kyosho a few
First.
weeks ago. Built as a replica car to celebrate that 1987 World Championship win in the hands of Joel Johnson over in the UK in Romsey.
Third.
So it's got the flat plate
Sixth.
chassis, it's got the replica body shell, everything built as close
Ninth.
as they could, but with a little
Fourth.
modern twist. Jono was saying to me last
Seventh.
night that as soon as he put that car on the track, it just handled beautifully.
Fifth.
He heads down the back straight, second of those two cars heading into that
Ninth.
hairpin at the end of the back straight.
First.
Sorry, thank you. So I've just lost sight of Jono for a minute. He's coming down the front straight right now, up onto
Second.
the Knox tabletop. Jono cutting his racing
Second.
teeth here in Victoria, going to a World Champs. That World Champs over in the UK in
Sixth.
1987. Then taking a big, long
Fourth.
break from the sport, just coming back
Eighth.
a couple of years ago. And now absolutely
After 2
right
minutes
at the
30
heart and
seconds,
soul of
the
Chargers.
top drivers are David Lawrence in first place, followed by Stuart Burrows in second place, followed by Nathan Marsh in third place.
So yeah,
Seventh.
Jono right at the heart of the
Fifth.
Chargers Club in Brisbane.
Eighth. First.
If I can do one little piece of
Second.
self-promotion, if you track down the Action RC podcast, and if you haven't heard
Third.
any of those, have a listen to the episode with Joel Johnson. We talked with Joel earlier in the year, and we talked a lot about this
Fourth.
car and that 1987 World
2
Championship
minutes
event.
left.
What it
Eighth.
was like to go over there and race, what it was like as an
Seventh.
on-road guy to go and race
Fifth.
off-road, and how on earth an on-road guy
Seventh.
went and won a World Championship.
Sixth.
And that
First.
is the genesis of that car. The very car that Joel Johnson raced has been repeated, replicated, so to
Second.
speak. And that's the car we're looking at right in front of front of the driver's stand now as he climbs
Third.
the hill. So based heavily on the earlier kind of ladder frame chassis Ultima, but lots and lots of changes.
Fourth.
This one in the hands of Jeno Spencer running around in fourth. There's an OG Ultima here in
Ninth.
front of Race Control now, the second
Sixth.
of those three cars.
Fifth.
So that was the original Ultima that later
First.
on developed into that world's winning version. Lots of other versions that came out, of course, the Turbo Ultima, one of them.
Second.
Kyosho, like Tamiya,
Ninth.
making the most of all of their mouldings.
Ninth.
So we're
Third.
just coming up to 4 minutes down, 1 to run. If we have a look on
1
track,
minute
it's Dave
later.
Lawrence out front, Nathan Marsh, Jeno, Stuart Burrows, Jeremy Williams, Jack Angle, David Watson, Richard Bull, Connor Devith. So Dave Lawrence, I think, at the wheel
Seventh.
of a Triple X. Here he's in
Sixth.
front of Race Control.
Fifth. First. 45 seconds left.
That's the blue and orange of our race leader heading down the back straight. Dave Lawrence, another one of the stalwarts of the Queensland scene.
Second.
Love having Dave down here with us for the weekend. And he's definitely got that Triple X
Third.
working nicely here at the
30
Knox track.
seconds left. Ninth. Third.
Inside our last 30 seconds, reminder drivers, keep going until we call you done. So where's Dave? Here he is. So that Triple X came, that kind of
Seven.
mid to
15
late
seconds
90s,
Fifth.
followed on from the Double X platform, the Double X CR, and then the Triple X.
Seventh.
And I think a Triple X CR came out right around
Second.
2000. Dave definitely got that version of the Triple X working pretty nicely as he works his way down the front straight
Third.
over the Knox tabletop.
Ninth.
Keep going till we call you done.
Ninth. First David Lawrence done.
Thanks, Dave.
Sixth David Watson done.
Thank you, David.
Fifth.
So that car 5, keep going. That's it. Thank you.
3rd Nathan Marsh done.
Thanks, Marshy.
7th Jack Engel done.
Thanks, Jack.
7th Stuart Borrows done.
Thank you, Stuart.
2nd Jensen Spencer done.
Thanks, Jeno. We've got 3 cars still live, so Marshall, just keep an eye
8th Richard
on
Bull
the
done.
racetrack. Thanks, Richard.
9th Connor Devet done.
Thanks, Connor. I reckon that's a triple X as well, so a couple of them in this heat.
4th Jeremy Williams done.
Thanks, Jeremy.
All drivers are finished. The race is completed.
I just heard a call. Scrutineer Dave Lawrence's car. Wow. All right, we're shifting gear now, moving from two-wheel drive competition into our 540 class and to quite a mix
Up
of
next,
chassis.
race number 9.
Yes, Dave.
Two-wheel drive 540.
Nicely done.
Heat 1 of 4. Race order is Richard Williams, Chris Camilleri, Glenn Grinter, David Hurst, Ryan Bradshaw, Bill Cara, Wayne Friend, Scott Giles, Adam Alexander, Jason Green.
Okay, I can have a look for it, mate.
Is that where I finished? That's where I started, isn't it?
Yeah, it did. So we'll just add a lap in for Stuart.
Yep.
All right, so if you've been paying attention, you know what we're doing. We're just calling you away one car at a time just so we can check your transponders in and make sure we've got everyone connected correctly. So when I call you, you can go across the line and then kind of head around for a lap and then pull up again short of the line. So in order, we'll call you away. As soon as we're ready to go here, we're just making some changes. So this is race 9. First of our two-wheel drive 540 heats. All right, Richard Williams. Richard's not here. If Richard, Chris Camilleri. Glenn Grinter.
Chris Camilleri.
Glenn running this one? No. David Hurst.
David Hurst.
Ryan Bradshaw.
Ryan Bradshaw.
Bill Cara. Thanks, Bill. Wayne Friend.
Bill Cara.
Scott Giles. Go, Scotty. Adam Alexander.
Adam Alexander.
And Jason Green.
Scott Giles. Jason Green.
All right, beautiful. Let's bring him around. Oh,
1
no.
minute to the start of the race.
Jason's rolled on his warm-up lap. All right, so we're shifting gear here. As I said, we're moving away from the competition-oriented cars into the 540 class. Of course, some of these cars are also competition-oriented, but there's a real mix of chassis on the track in this one. So just pull them up back here at the last corner, back from the start line, and we'll call you to go once we've got everyone ready. It'll be the same order as we just went. And as we've been doing this afternoon, really focusing on the chassis, we'll talk a little bit about some of the cars in this race. So I've just got one more to come. So we've got 3 more groups of 2 or 540 after this one. All right, we know we're good to go. All right, let's go.
Richard Williams. Chris Camilleri. Glenn Grinter. David Hurst. Ryan Bradshaw. Bill
That's
Cara.
right.
Wayne Friend. Scott Giles. Adam Alexander. Jason Green.
All right. We'll try and look into the settings in this class and see if we can not have that happen again. But hey, we're here for a good time, not a fast time. Or a fast time, not a good time. All right, two-wheel drive 540. I cannot help but talk about Bill's car. So this is the second of the cars coming down the front straight. We talked a little bit earlier about, I think it was his Hornet that was highly modified, but you have got to go and have a look at this car as he climbs the hill with the twin rollover antennas, kind of green, off-green rear wheels, yellow fronts.
First.
I don't even know where to start with it, but let's start from the front bumper and work our way back. Starts from the front with a Tamiya Wild One front suspension unit. So the trailing arm front end of the Tamiya Wild One, and there's another Wild One on the car on the track in this one, heading down the back straight right now. So it starts with a Tamiya Wild One front end mounted to a handmade alloy, custom-made chassis. Scratch-built is the term we would have used back in the day. When you get to the back of the car, there's what can only be described as a Tamiya Frog transmission mounted upside down
First.
onto the chassis. And then Frog trailing
Second.
arm suspension and those shocks,
Fifth.
side-mounted shocks onto custom shock mounts on this. I can't even describe it, but you've got to go and have a look at
Sixth.
this car of Bill's. It is an absolute work of art. All handmade, scratch build, as I said, is the language we
Fifth.
would have used back in the day. And definitely quicker than any Frog or Wild One that I've ever seen. So it turns out that the combination of Frog and Wild One
Seventh.
parts, a little imagination, some aluminium and hard work can produce a car that gets around all right as he climbs the hill. He's got the twin rollover antennas, Frog style,
First.
so they've probably come over from
Second.
the Frog as well. Hand-built, scratch-built front
Fourth.
shock tower, all sorts of things going on. You've got to go and have a look at that race car before tomorrow
Fourth.
is out. In fact,
Fifth.
have a look at all the cars on his table. There's just a whole world of crazy imagination going on from all sorts of donor Tamiya cars, Frogs and Hornets and Wild Ones and all sorts of things
Sixth.
as he works his way down the front straight. Remember, if you're coming for pizzas, you got to see Scotty Giles. He's actually on the driver's stand just at the minute,
After
so you
2
can
minutes 30
wait
seconds,
till he gets
the
down.
top drivers are
Go
Scott
and harass
Giles
him
in
while he's
first
marshalling.
place, followed by Bill Cara in second place, followed by David Hurst in third place. First. Second.
So while we're
Fourth.
talking about Scotty Giles, the pizza man, who you've got to see
Seventh.
after this race, that's him in the
Third.
red Kyosho Tomahawk, I'm pretty sure it is, coming down the front straight in front of race control. Scotty, one of 4 Scotts here this
Fifth.
weekend. Team Scott,
2 minutes
absolute
left.
classic name in vintage off-road racing, but
Sixth.
also one of the best in the country
First.
in a range of classes over his career. And that beautiful example of the Kyosho, I think it's a Tomahawk, Scorpion,
Second.
one or the other. Tomahawk, I think, works his way through the infield
Third.
and heading now towards the front straight. 540 Silver Can motors, the go in this class.
Fourth.
Let's see what else we've got. We've talked about the Wild One. We talked about that earlier, with the Wild One coming down here towards race control.
First. Fifth.
And the Tamiya Fox, that's the first time we've seen a
Sixth.
Fox on the racetrack today. So just going to the start of the back straight now, the Tamiya Fox coming out, look, I want to say around
Second.
1987. It was the two-wheel drive compatriot to the Tamiya Hotshot. Maybe a little earlier, maybe it was 86, maybe even 85, but around that period, mid-1980s.
1 minute left.
And absolutely one of the classic two-wheel drive Tamiya buggies of that period. Probably the first of a new era of cars after
First.
the predecessor, the cars like the Wild One, Hornet, Frog, those sorts of things. So the
45
Fox,
seconds left.
Fox having a little bit more sophisticated suspension than those earlier cars, and you can see that in the performance of the car. Upright
Fifth.
dual rear shock absorbers,
Sixth.
monoshock front end,
Second.
and re-released
30
of course,
seconds left.
in the last few years by Tamiya, so you can still buy those cars around the place and parts and all sorts of things. That's the yellow body heading onto the infield and towards the driver's stand.
Fourth. 15 seconds left.
Inside our last
Third.
30 seconds, keep going until we call you done. We've got our next heat of 2 of 540, so that's going to be race number 10 coming up next. Group 2 of 540, race 10. In this one, it is Scott Giles out front, Bill Cara in 2 in that
Sixth.
incredible creation.
Second.
Alexander in 3, David
Fifth.
Hurst, Jason Green, Chris Camilleri. Everyone's still live at the moment, so keep going until we call you done.
First Scott Giles done.
Thanks, Scotty.
Fourth David Hurst done.
Thank you, David. You're done.
Third Adam Alexander
Thanks,
done.
Adam. That mighty Tamiya Frog, you are done. So we've still got a couple of cars live. 3 cars live. Oh, the Wild One's just caught up on the curb.
Sixth Chris Camilleri done.
Thank
Second
you, Chris.
Bill Cara done.
Thanks, Bill. And that
Fifth,
leaves
Jason
us
Green
with Jason.
done.
Thank you, Jason. You are all
All
done.
drivers
Go
are
straight out
finished.
to Marshall for us, please.
The race is completed.
And we'll continue on with two-wheel drive 540. I am seeing an absolutely gorgeous Wild One coming out here. That is an absolute work of art. If you're in the pits, you need to get trackside right now to have a look at this wild one in the next heat. Absolutely
Up
gorgeous
next,
piece of work.
Race number 10. Two-wheel drive 540.
My gosh,
E2
that's a
of
good
4.
looking car.
Race order is Michael Bodner,
Did you
Nick
already
V,
pause that?
Halil Cesar, The Wookie,
What's that?
Ash, Wayne Edwards, Jason
Oh,
Curtis,
Mr. Mouse. Just
David Lawrence, Dean
dismiss
Chapra,
all? Or the
Either or, just yep.
Ash.
All right, so let's have our marshals out. Drivers, don't go across the line. Just
Wayne
wait till we
Edwards.
call you in. Not the end of the world if you do. It's all right. We'll disqualify him later. All right, let's get you guys all up on the driver's stand and then we'll call you away. So we've got Michael, Nick, Halil, Peter, Ash, Wayne, Jason, Dave Lawrence, Dean in this one. All right, so when I call you drivers, if you can cross the line, we're just going to sort out the transponders, make sure we've got everybody. All right, Michael Bodnar, if you can go across the line. Is Michael here? Maybe not. Nick? Not Nick. Oh, yep, Nick. Oh, that's Nick. Look at that car. Oh, my
Nick B.
gosh. Halil? Peter Worcester? Well, she's not here. Ash McClurkin? Wayne Edwards, Jason Curtis,
Jason Curtis,
David Lawrence,
David Lawrence,
and Dean Chapara.
Dean Chapra.
Beautiful. All right, head around and then bring him back to the start. I don't care what anyone says. That is the best looking car I've seen today, that wild one. Have a look at it. There's some custom parts on it. There's paint. There's stickers. There's the frame's green instead of red. There's weird things going on. There's what? There's bullet plugs on the motor. You win. That is beautiful. Doesn't even matter whether it goes any good. It's just beautiful. All right. This is race 10. We got marshals. We've got enough marshals. We've got 3 more races to go. Let's get this one underway. Let's go racing.
Michael Bodner, Nick V, Halil Cesar, The Wookie, Ash, Wayne Edwards, Jason Curtis, David Lawrence, Dean Chapra.
All right, we're away. Oh, no, that's that beautiful wild one. Was it upside down at the end of the back straight? Caution back straight, and we're clear. Well, it was beautiful. Now it's dirty. It's been upside down, so now you can just get on and race it. Nick, that's how it works. Once it's been rolled, now it's a race-ready, race-worthy car. That's how Nick rolls. Wow, who needs friends? So what have we got? We've got an RC10. We've got an
Second.
Ultima. We've got that beautiful wild one.
Third,
We've got the Cougar, the Schumacher Cougar,
Third.
another of the Tamiya Foxes, and another
Fourth.
of the OG, well, it might be a
Fifth.
re-release, but the original shape and style of the Kyosho Ultima. So a nice mix of cars in this one, and a mix of drivers with different levels of experience, and that is one of the things we love about Vintage Bash. We've got national champions here, we've got people who've never raced before, but just enjoying the cars, the track,
First.
the conversation, the camaraderie, and the pizzas.
Second.
We're going to enjoy the pizzas. If you have not yet tracked him down, Scotty Giles standing right here in front of race control in the beautiful red sneakers. Have a look at those. So find a man
Third.
with red sneakers. Tell him you want
Fifth.
pizza. Just go up to him and say, I want pizza.
Fourth,
That's what you
Fifth.
got to do. Tap him on the shoulder and say, excuse me, red sneaker man, I want pizza.
first,
Oh, who needs friends? Hello with bacon. That's terrible. All right,
Second.
come see Scotty. Tell him you want pizza. Scotty, I want pizza. All right, what do we got? We're 2 minutes
third,
down, 3 to go, just
Fourth.
under 3 to go. So we have talked about
Fifth.
that wild one.
sixth,
Star of beachside Tamiya marketing videos of the 80s. And this particularly beautiful example, we've talked about the Fox. We talked about that a little bit at the end of the last one, and that one out there now heading towards
After
the
2
start
minutes
of
30
the front
seconds,
straight.
the top drivers are Wayne Edwards in first place, followed by Ash in second place, followed by Dean Chapra in third place. Second.
So this Fox coming right past race control
Third.
right now, wearing pretty close to original
Fourth.
box art, certainly the box art
Fifth.
for the Nova Fox, the re-released version that came out a few years back. There's a nice looking RC10
Sixth.
out there as well, just working
First.
on the back of Nick's Wild One and heads around the outside
2
of
minutes
him
left.
down the back straight. It's really hard to tell what version of RC10 that is, whether
Second.
it's a 6-gear original or maybe a team car or something like that. Looks like it's got a black tub or definitely a black motor guard. So it might have been a later edition World's car or a team car, something like that. But a pretty nice version nonetheless as he climbs the hill in the center of the
Fifth.
track,
Fourth. Fourth.
packing some
First.
of Mabuchi's finest horsepower into these two-wheel drive buggies. Oh, got the boys together and both upside
Sixth.
down. So a little over a minute to run in this one. It's Wayne Edwards
Second.
out front. Fastest lap of the race, 31.8. That's a pretty solid lap time in a 540 two-wheel drive buggy. Ash McGlurkin in 2. He's gone 34. Dave Lawrence has gone 35. I'm pretty sure that's Dave driving the Fox. Dean.
1
Third.
minute left.
Jason
First.
Curtis jumping to 3. Ash in 2. Jason in 3. Dave Lawrence. Dean. Nick in the Wild One. Or inside move from Dave Lawrence.
Fifth. Fourth.
He and Dean battling over 4th and 5th.
45 seconds left. Second.
So Ash driving the Ultima, heading on to the back straight. Re-release version probably, I want to guess. Such a gift
30
that
seconds
Kyosho
left.
and others have given in the re-releasing of these cars. Very much
Third.
appreciated, having
First.
the modern plastics and some slight modern design improvements over the originals, making them a much more race-worthy version than some of those old
15
cars.
seconds left.
Looks like we've got some trouble for Nick's Wild One.
Fourth.
Yeah, just bring him over to the outside, guys, so
Fifth.
that people can see the racetrack.
Second.
Some steering issues there, looks like. All right, time's winding down. So listen for us to call you done. Keep going until we call you.
First.
So keep going, Wayne. You're still alive.
Third.
Jason's still alive as well. So everyone's still running now. We'll probably start to finish as we cross the line, but listen for your name. We'll call you when you're done.
Fourth. Dean Chapra done. Sixth. Nick V done.
Thanks, Dean. Thanks, Nick.
Second. Ash done.
Thanks, Ash.
Fifth. David Lawrence done.
Thanks, Dave. Powering across the line with that little Mabuchi.
First. Wayne Edwards
Thanks,
done.
Wayne, taking the win in that beautiful RC10.
Third. Jason Curtis done.
Thank you, Jason. You're done.
All
Thank you,
drivers
drivers.
are finished.
You're all done. Straight to
The
Marshall.
race is completed.
We will move on in the afternoon's activities. We're not too far away from being done. Couple more races to go. Lou Solar, there is a race of has-beens on the chart. Are we doing that this afternoon? Nope. Okay. So once
Up
we're done
next,
with qualifying
race
this afternoon,
number
that'll be
11.
it for the day.
Two-wheel drive 540. Heat 3 of 4.
So
Race
just
order is
2 more races to go
Reese
for this
Jones,
afternoon.
Aaron Defina, Damian Dixon, John Perkins, Jeff Prumer, Andy, Christian Foran, Darren Johnson.
All right, let's get them lined up, and I'll call you away so I can check some transponders in. And then we'll get this second last race for the day underway. If we can have the guys from race 10 out to Marshall for us, please. It's been a lovely day of practice and conversation, and now moving into racing this afternoon. Pizza and stories and swaps into the night. All right, Reese Jones. No Reese. Aaron Defina. You can go across, Aaron.
Christian Foran.
Wait a minute.
1 minute to the start of the race.
Okay, I'm going to need some help. I don't know how to undo that. No, he's got the wrong one in. Damien? Oh, are you racing? Oh, John
45
Perkins.
seconds to the start of the race.
John Perkins. I think that was you.
John
Jeff
Perkins.
Primer. Possibly not.
Jeff Primer.
Andy Ives.
Andy.
Christian Foran. Darren Johnson.
Darren Johnson.
And Aaron, can you go across the line again for me? That's that one.
Aaron Defina.
All right. And are we getting Reese? Is Reese having a run? Where is he? Can you cross the line for me, Reese? Who was that? Reese.
Reese Jones.
All right, we're good to go. Let's line them up. Might just need one extra marshal or two. Where's my marshals from the last race? Need one in front of the driver's stand and one down at the end of the back straight. Thanks, guys. All right, let's line them up. So this is race 11 of 12. One more to go after this one for the second last time today. Let's go racing.
Reese Jones. Aaron Defina. Damian Dixon. John Perkins. Jeff Primer. Andy. Christian Foran. Darren Johnson.
All right, I think we've got everyone away. It's got what?
It's a frog gearbox upside down.
Oh, it's got a frog gearbox upside down in it
Must
as
be a
well.
thing.
This must be a thing.
Yeah, but look at it.
It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? I'm just looking at this wild one I was ogling before, and it's got a frog gearbox upside down. It's got alloy trailing arms. I mean, this is a work of art.
First.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. We're just going to have
Second.
a little look at this over here in race control. You go see Nick later on and ask him to show you this
Second.
car. It is absolutely
Fifth.
beautiful. All sorts of fun bits and pieces. Almost an Ultima style chassis. Yeah,
Sixth.
you're right. It's very different. Alloy chassis, alloy front trailing arms. Oh my gosh. Anyway, sorry, there is a racetrack. There is a race going on. Race 11, we're 1 minute down, 4 to go. Let's see, we've got some interesting cars and people in this one. John Perkins, we talked about earlier.
Fourth.
Darren Johnson, we haven't
First.
talked too much about yet. Where's Darren? He's
Second.
driving a JRX2. I reckon this might be him coming past race control now. Let's see as he
Third.
crosses the line. It is. So that's one of the original 5-link JRX2s.
Fifth.
Darren's been racing in Australia since that kind of era. Cut his racing teeth in Sydney and Canberra back in the day, and has moved about a little bit and has been well known to many people in the vintage scene over the years with a big collection and an encyclopedic knowledge
Third.
of
First.
all things vintage. Has also got
Sixth.
some really incredible cars with him here this weekend. So track
Fourth.
Darren down, ask him to show you the Bob Burbage four-wheel drive car
Third.
from the 80s. He's got Bulldogs and Zertas and JRX2s. That one's a really good example as he heads down the back straight. So that's Darren Johnson. He's
Fifth.
currently sitting in P3. John Perkins, we talked about earlier. John's leading this one. Let's see what John's driving. Maybe a Cougar, I reckon, in this one. Let's see.
Second. First.
Yeah, so that's John heading down the back straight now, right on the tail of Reese Jones. Reese driving the Losi, John driving
Fourth.
the Cougar.
Third.
We've got a couple of JRX2s.
After 2 minutes 30
We've got
seconds,
another wild one.
the top drivers are John Perkins in first place, followed by Reese Jones in second place, followed by Darren Johnson in third place.
And our
Sixth.
first chance to talk about the
Fifth.
Schumacher Cougar 2000
Second.
as he heads off down the back straight,
First.
the zebra, kind of white and black paint job. Cougar 2000 coming out in 1993, I want to say. And a couple of variations to that car coming out over the following years. And
Fourth.
that one is a 1995 version of the car, a
2
narrower
minutes
chassis.
left.
And Schumacher pioneered such an impressive innovation that nobody else ever replicated it. So, who knows. But active caster front suspension. So go and track that car
Fifth.
down afterwards. That's
Second.
the car of, I think it's Christian
First.
Foran driving that one. And you'll have a look at the front outer hinge pins. And you can
Sixth.
see they're angled out at about 45 degrees rather than parallel to the car. and that causes the caster of the car to change as the suspension compresses, rises and falls,
Fourth.
and changes the handling on the way into a corner or out of a corner. So that came out around that 1995 version of the Cougar 2000, and they also had options available for other cars, the Losi of the time and the team associated. And if I'm not mistaken, the 1995 Australian champion,
Second.
Andrew Gillett,
First.
two-wheel drive modified, driving the Losi, had that Shoemaker
Fifth.
active caster front end fitted to his Losi to win that Nationals up in Jimboomba. And definitely that 95 Cougar
1
2000
minute
we're
left.
talking about, the black and white one at the end of the back straight, it does
Third.
have that funky front end fitted to it.
Sixth.
So you can go and talk to Christian later on, ask him to give you a bit of a tour through
Fourth.
that car.
Seventh.
Have a look under the body. You'll see no wings on the side of the
45
chassis, really
seconds
narrow.
left.
The Shoemaker started doing that after the
Second.
earlier versions of the car. Had a
First.
little wider kind of wing on the side of the chassis and getting a little bit of rub, all those sorts of things. All useless information nobody needs to know, but there you go. We're inside
Fifth.
the last 30 seconds
30
of this
seconds
one.
left.
Our second last 205/40 heat for the afternoon. We've got just one more to
Third.
wrap up our on-track action for the day. There's Darren Johnson, that JRX2.
Fourth.
Another wild one.
15
Aaron
seconds
Defina,
left.
one of the organising
Seventh.
team, the 6-gear RC10 with the Palmer
Second.
Eagle body. He heads off down the back
First.
straight. And we're inside the last 10 seconds for this one. Keep going till we call you done.
Fifth.
So keep going till we call you done.
Third. Jeff Primer done.
Thanks, Jeff.
Fourth. Darren Johnson done.
Thank you, Darren.
Seventh. Aaron Defina done.
Thanks, Aaron.
Second. Reese Jones done.
Thanks, Reese.
First. John Perkins done.
Thank you, John.
Sixth. Andy done.
Thanks, Andy. So that just leaves Christian. Where is he? Here he comes. The mighty, mighty Cougar 2000. What a wonderful race car that was. Just 1% slower than the Losi Double X,
Fifth.
unfortunately,
Christian Foran done.
in Australian conditions.
All drivers are finished. The race is completed.
I'll sort it out. So you just park here, and when I call your name, go across the line, and I'll grab your transponder. All right, thank you, guys. If we can have you drop your cars and head out to Marshall, we will get our last race for the afternoon underway. Same deal as we've done previously.
Up next,
Just wait here till we
race
call you
number
across
12.
the line, and we'll get the
Two-wheel
transponder
drive
sorted out.
540. Heat 4 of 4. Race order is Marlon Spencer, David Bradshaw, Mark Wotton, Mark Hodgins,
You don't have.
Heath Murray,
you do.
Peter Wagner,
Doesn't matter.
Jason
Yeah.
Forte, Rafi's Armenian,
Sorry,
Patrick
what's your name?
Wotton,
Jason. Oh, Jason. Okay. So it is pronounced Fort, not because the computer calls you Forte, I think. Fort's good. Okay. Thanks, Jason. All right, let's have those marshals out so we can get this last race away. We're on track to be done by just a little after 5:30, which is nice. All right, so as we have done through this first round of qualifying, I'm going to ask you to go across the line one at a time so I can track you down. So Marlon Spencer. Hello, what's happening here? Might need some help. Sean or someone? Let me just dismiss all of these. All right, let's get you to go across the line again, Marlon. Where are you? Oh, you're down the end there. Just wait till we get everyone else all across. David Bradshaw,
David Bradshaw,
Mark Wotton,
Mark Wotton,
Mark Hodgins, Heath Murray,
Heath Murray,
Peter Wagner. Yeah, but it's not picking up any kind of transponder. So Peter Wagner, Jason Fort. Oh, Jason doesn't have a transponder. Rafi and Patrick Wotton.
Patrick Wotton,
All right, I think we just don't have Marlon picking up a transponder, and Jason doesn't have one in the car, so that's all right. We'll just take a moment to check and make sure, we'll see whether Marlon's going to get that transponder working. All right, let's line them up here at the start, and then we'll call you away as we've been doing. So it'll be the same order as we just went. So the order will be Marlon, Dave Bradshaw, Mark Watton, Mark Hodgins, Heath Murray, Peter Wagner, Jason Fort, Rafi and Patrick. How's my marshals? Looks like I need a marshal on the back straight. So we've got one race to get done here. If we can just have a couple of guys jump out and help us with marshalling. One over on the back straight at marshal point number 4. Beautiful. Oh, you can. I need one here as well. Yeah, thank you. I don't know. Pizza man's here. Come and tap him on the shoulder. Tell him you want pizza. Scotty Giles. How's that transponder looking, Marlon?
Nah, too late to tap me on the shoulder. I've ordered. But Jeff, we'll give you a pizza. It's okay, mate. Don't worry. We'll fit you in. So pizzas have been ordered. They will be ready. I'll be picking them up at 7 p.m. So you've got an hour and a half to shoot the breeze, talk crap, clean up your cars or not, bring your tents down, pack up. 7 o'clock over at the building. I think the red brick building.
Marlon Spencer.
To the far. No, sorry, on the right-hand side, the grey one, the new one. We're in the new digs. And once you've packed up, sorry, Scotty, once you've packed up, if the interstaters could fold up their tables, we'll need to pack them up. Yeah. All good. Back to you, race control.
Thank you, Scott.
No, you're welcome.
Scott.
What have we got happening now?
All right, let's get this last race away. You know the deal. We'll call your names. Yeah, let's do it for the last time. Let's go.
Marlon Spencer. David Bradshaw. Mark Watton. Mark Hodgins. Heath Murray. Peter Wagner. Jason Forte. Rafi's Armenian. Patrick Watton.
How much forward traction do you reckon that Hornet with the sand pedals on is going to get? I'm not sure about him going through the corners, though.
I want to see that thing with a 12 single in it tomorrow. That's what I want to see.
How good.
I don't care if it's a 540 class.
Sand paddles, 12 single. It's going to pull stands down the straight.
So Scotty Giles, special guest, joining me for the last race of the afternoon. Scotty, have a look at the cars on track at the moment. We've got an RC10. We've got, what's this thing? Some kind of Kyosho.
Yeah, definitely.
Second.
A couple more RC10s. The Grasshopper we spoke about. What's your choice here? What would you choose to bring to a racetrack?
It's making some funky noises, but I'm actually quite fond of the very clean-looking RC10. Just hitting the back straight now. Very clean look. It's got a cream and red paint job.
I think that's Jason Fort driving that one. We saw Jason on the track earlier on as well.
What are those noises, Jason?
I've never heard a battery connector make that noise, but there you go.
Let's hope he does better than me, Scotty, and makes 5 minutes, actually. So, I can't talk.
There are a couple of beautiful RC10s in this one, as there has been in just about every race today. The mainstay of vintage two-wheel drive racing. I'm always a bit partial to the Ultima. Here's one right in front of Race Control, one of the re-release versions. I ran an Ultima in 1987 in the first year of two-wheel drive modified racing in Queensland. That sort of era when two-wheel drive mod was being introduced in Australia. Earlier modified racing had all been four-wheel drive, and we'll see some of those four-wheel drives on the track tomorrow afternoon and Sunday. But the Ultima was one of those first two-wheel mod cars as he disappeared off at the end of the back straight.
It's a very original looking one with the alloy tub chassis there, or channel chassis. Handling as well as they ever did.
We should stop talking about him because he keeps going upside down. It seems unfair. Scotty, tell me what was your first race car? Where did you get started?
My first race car was actually a Tamiya Fox as well. The first car I owned, though, was a Kyosho Pegasus.
Oh, I saw a Pegasus earlier on.
Really? There's one here?
After 2 minutes, 30
plastic
seconds,
tub and
the top
hinge,
drivers
plastic
are Mark
joints,
Watton
no
in
hinge
first place, followed by Marlon
Just,
Spencer in
thin
second
plastic
place,
so it flexed.
followed by Heath Murray in third place.
Friction shocks.
Fourth.
Didn't go well around the track. But the Fox was mine, then I saved up for a Super Shot.
Oh.
Second.
Yeah.
Second.
All of us who owned Hot Shots were jealous of the Super Shots. That's what I'm going to say.
Yep.
We are 3 minutes down, two to run on this one. I did just see another super original looking
2 minutes left.
RC10. He's just coming onto the start of the front straight now, reminding me, as we said earlier, it is the 40th anniversary of that car being released. And that's really what they looked like. So 1985, there were just these cars exactly like this running all around. That even looks like it's got the original 2-inch wheels and tyres.
Oh, 1.9s I reckon they were, weren't they? 1.9 inch
probably were.
the originals. Definitely
Second.
original looking version.
Beautiful example of the RC10 hitting the end of the back straight. We're a little under a minute and a half to run.
Third.
3.5 down, a minute and a half to run. I want to know if this Grasshopper's got a 380 motor in it. I reckon it probably would. That would be... Oh, he's come over to show me.
Can we have a look?
Oh, no, it's a
Oh,
540.
no, he's wedged a 540 in there. Thank you for that. Appreciate that.
Strapped in the big horsepower for this weekend. Probably would go faster with a 380 in it. Less wheel spin.
Second.
It was a fun
1 minute
category, full of Tamiya Grasshoppers, the 380 category, back in those mid-80s days. Certainly at the club I started racing at, a place called Lota in Brisbane.
Fourth.
Over east, as he goes upside down in that little Grasshopper. There were
35
dozens of the things
seconds left.
rolling around in the hands of kids and mums and girlfriends and wives and all sorts of people.
Back straight, back straight. Very good. There's about 20 seconds to go in this race. Does anyone care who's up?
30
Mark
seconds
Watton's
left.
leading this one.
Oh,
Heath
is he?
Murray in 2, Marlon's in 3.
First.
Oh, well done, guys.
That
First.
nice little Kyosho of Marlon. Where is he? Just coming towards the front straight now, a little bit sideways as I looked at him.
Did we work out what that Kyosho was? Is it a Scorcher?
15
Scorpion?
seconds left.
No, it's not a
Scorpion?
Scorpion.
Anyone? Anyone? Bueller?
Scorpion. Someone yelled out Scorpion.
Did they? I just thought they'd seen a bug.
Third.
All right, time is expiring, so keep going till we call you done. For the final time this afternoon, keep going until we call you done.
Fourth. First Heath Murray done.
Thank you, Heath.
Second Mark
Taking the win
Watton
in the
done.
RC10. And Mark was done as well. I think that was that other RC10. Jason, we know doesn't have a transponder, so we'll call you done, Jason, when you hit the line. That leaves us with 3 or 4 cars to finish, including that gorgeous Grasshopper.
Third Marlon Spencer done.
You
Fifth
can't
David
help but
Bradshaw
laugh,
done.
can you? When you look at a
He's-
Grasshopper accelerating
he's
through the
parked
bumps,
it.
you
He's
cannot
parked
help
it.
but laugh.
No. He
We
got
got
out
one
wide
to
in the
come.
loose stuff, sand paddles work, and parked it in the ditch.
Fourth Patrick Watton done. All drivers are finished.
All right, thank
The
you,
race
drivers.
is completed.
That brings us to the end of round 1 of qualifying for the afternoon. You heard the update. Dinner is at 7. We've got a little display going on here right in front of race control, something pretty special to have a look at. I do believe the track is closed to practice, so it is time to pack up, tell some stories, fold up those loaner tables and chairs and things, and we will be gathering a little later on. I'm going to leave any further announcements to Scotty and Lou and Andy and the team. Otherwise, racing will resume tomorrow morning, and we'll see you then.
Thank you, Scotty G. Coming down and spending your day on the microphone this afternoon. Fantastic. I've got too far away. All right, so Andy, thank you very much for picking up the cones. That was one of the jobs. And just in the interstate is just a reminder to fold up your tables once you've packed up and cleaned them off. We'll be needing to pack them up tonight. Other than that, yes, track is closed for any racing practice. If you have something you want to demo or run around or take photos of, you're welcome to come out and have a look at the track. It's a fantastic looking Land Cruiser with a trailer and a blockhead wild one on the back of it. Somebody's put some time and effort into that. Rusty. Oh, there's a driver.